I know my husband is cheating on me. I've known for months, maybe longer, but I pretend I don't see it. He thinks he's smart, deleting messages, staying late at work, turning his phone face down every time he gets a notification. But once you've lived with someone for years, once you've had their children, you recognize every shift, every lie by tone, every distance, every silence that lasts 2 seconds too long. I'm not stupid. I'm not blind. I just don't have the luxury to leave. We have 2 kids, 2 little humans who see him as their hero. And I refuse to be the one who breaks their world apart. Where would I go? What would I do? How do you start over with no money, no backup plan, no support system? People love telling women to just leave, but they never offer a place to stay, never offer help, never think about what leaving actually looks like at 2 a.m. with 2 crying children. So I stay. I make breakfast. I pack school lunches. I wash clothes, clean the house, smile at the neighbors, and lie to myself every single day. The nights are the worst. When he comes home late, smelling like perfume that isn't mine. When he showers a little too long. When he kisses me on the forehead instead of the lips. As if guilt tastes different. Sometimes I lie awake watching him sleep, and I wonder if he thinks I'm too busy, too tired, too distracted to notice. I notice everything. But here is the part that hurts most. I'm not afraid of losing him. I'm afraid of losing the life that holds my kids together. I can live without love, without passion, without trust. Women have survived on empty marriages for generations. But my kids? They don't deserve the fallout of choices they didn't make. So I stay. Not because I forgive him, not because I'm okay, but because I'm trapped in a life that looks picture perfect from the outside and feels like slow drowning on the inside. One day I'll leave. I know I will. When I have the strength or the savings or the moment where the fear of staying finally becomes stronger than the fear of starting over. But for now, I put on my smile, kiss my children goodnight, and pretend I don't hear his phone buzzing on the bathroom counter with messages I already know the meaning of.
I did something unforgivable, something I can never take back. And the man I married that day still kisses me goodnight without knowing who I really am. The morning of my wedding, everything was chaos. Makeup, hair, photographers, family running around, everyone asking me if I was excited, if I was happy, if I was ready. I wasn't. Not because I didn't love my fiancé, but because someone from my past decided to show up. My ex. The one I never fully got over. The one who ruined me and shaped me at the same time. The one I shouldn't have even looked at. He showed up just to congratulate me, just to say goodbye. But the second I saw him, everything inside me twisted. Old memories, old heat, old damage that never healed. He asked if we could talk. 5 minutes. Just 5. Like an idiot, I agreed. We went upstairs, away from the noise. He closed the door behind us, and I swear I could barely breathe. He looked at me the way no one else ever has, like he owned parts of me I never took back. He said, "So you're really doing this?" I nodded. He smirked. And something in me broke. I don't know who moved first. I don't know who reached who. I just know that within seconds, I was pulled into something I should have run from. Something I thought I buried years ago. It wasn't romantic. It wasn't gentle. It wasn't even right. It was desperate. Fast. Wrong in every possible way. I kept thinking, stop, stop, stop. But my body didn't listen. Because a part of me had always belonged to him. And on the one day it mattered most. I let him take it back. When it was over, I couldn't even look at him. He whispered, "You're marrying the wrong man." And I knew he was lying. Not because he cared, but because he wanted to see if he still had power over me. He did. I walked downstairs 10 minutes later. White dress perfect. Lipstick fixed. Heart shattered into pieces no one else could see. And then I married a man who thinks I'm loyal, trustworthy, good. He still doesn't know. No one does. Sometimes I look at him across the dinner table, and the guilt hits me so hard I can barely swallow. And sometimes, and this is the part that makes me hate myself, I remember that moment with my ex, and a tiny, rotten part of me doesn't regret it. Because it reminded me who I used to be, and who I still am, when no one's watching.
I've been with my girlfriend for 3 years. Long enough that everyone around us assumes marriage is the next step. Her friends, my family, even she drops hints sometimes. And I pretend I don't notice. Because the truth is ugly. I don't want to marry her. Not because she's done something wrong, not because I don't care about her, but because I keep thinking I might meet someone better. It sounds awful. I know it does. I hate myself for even saying it, but it's the truth living in the back of my mind every single day. She's a good partner. She's loyal, kind, supportive. She cooks dinner, laughs at my jokes, loves me in that steady, unconditional way that most men dream of. And yet, when I picture proposing, nothing inside me moves. No spark, no excitement. Just a quiet voice whispering, "What if this isn't it? What if the right one is still out there? It's not like I have someone else. I'm not dating around, not cheating, not chasing options." But the possibility, the idea of something more, keeps me frozen where I am. Every time we talk about the future, my chest tightens. Every time she looks at rings online, just for fun, my stomach twists. Because I know she deserves a man who's sure about her. And that man isn't me. Not right now. I keep telling myself I need more time. Another year. Another milestone. Another sign. But deep down, I already know time won't fix this. I'm not waiting for the right moment. I'm waiting for the right woman. And that's the part that destroys me. Because she loves me with her whole heart, and I'm loving her with one foot out the door, hoping the universe sends me someone I don't have doubts about. It's cruel. It's selfish. But it's reality. I'm scared to leave. Scared of breaking her. Scared of ending up alone. Scared of making the biggest mistake of my life. But I'm even more scared of standing in front of her with a ring and knowing I'm lying. So I stay. Not because I'm sure, but because I'm not sure enough to go. And that's its own kind of heartbreak. For both of us.
I ruined my life with my own hands. People always say affairs just happen. But that's a lie. They don't just happen. You make 1,000 small, selfish choices until one day you look around and realize you've burned everything you ever cared about. My affair started at work. Nothing dramatic. No flirting, no sparks, no forbidden glances. Just long hours, shared projects, late-night talks. Then, one evening, she touched my arm and I didn't pull away. A small choice. A stupid choice. The first crack. It spiraled from there. Messages. Secrets. Excuses. Telling myself I deserved attention. That my marriage was going through a phase. That it was just emotional, so it didn't count. I lied to myself so well that I almost believed it. But secrets don't stay hidden forever. My wife found the messages. Every word. Every lie. Every disgusting thing I said to another woman while she slept next to me at night. I'll never forget the way she looked at me. Not angry. Not screaming. Just gone. Like I'd killed something inside her. She packed her things in silence. Took the kids. Took the pictures from the walls. Took the warmth from the house. And she left me standing there in the doorway, with my phone still buzzing from the woman who wasn't worth losing a family over. The affair ended that same night. Of course it did. The second she realized my life was collapsing, she disappeared. Blocked me everywhere. Moved on with her perfect little life. And me? I'm sitting in an empty apartment, surrounded by echoes of everything I used to have. Kids, drawings in a box, a wedding ring I can't force myself to throw away, a bed that feels like a punishment. People say time heals, but what if the thing you broke was the only part of you that was ever good? I walk past families on the street, and it feels like getting stabbed in the same wound over and over. I see my kids once a week, and every time they leave, I sit in the car afterward and try not to scream. I did this. I destroyed my own home, my own future, my own heart. And the worst part? The part that keeps me awake every night? I would give anything, to go back to the moment before I crossed the line and slap the stupidity out of myself. Because now I'm just a man who lost everything real for something that meant nothing. And living with that truth is the closest thing to madness I've ever felt.
I never thought something like this could happen to me. I'm a teacher, an adult, a professional, someone who is supposed to know better. But I fell in love with my student. He's 21. I'm 34. Not illegal, but morally, a disaster. Because he sits in my classroom, looks at me with those calm eyes, and every time he does, something inside me shakes loose. It didn't start with flirting. It started with how he asked questions, thoughtful, curious, genuinely interested. How he stayed after class to understand the material. How he thanked me in that warm, sincere way I hadn't heard from anyone in years. Soon I caught myself waiting for him, listening for his voice, feeling that stupid flutter when he walked through the door. And that's when the torment began. Because I noticed how the girls in the group hovered around him, laughing too loudly, touching his arm, leaning way too close. All those little gestures young women do without thinking, and each one of them sliced through me like a knife. I'm supposed to be mature, collected, professional. But every time he smiled at one of them, my stomach twisted so hard I felt sick. Between classes, I watched him without meaning to, how he talked to his classmates, how effortlessly they flirted with him, how he smiled back in that soft way he never used with me. And the thought hit me like a punch. Why can't that smile be for me? One afternoon, he stayed after class again. Everyone else had left. He closed the door gently and said, "You seem sad today. Are you okay?" It broke me, because he noticed. He cared. He saw me, not as a teacher, but as a person. For a moment, I wanted to tell him everything. How I think about him at night. How I feel jealous of girls 10 years younger. How I hate myself for wanting something I can never have. But I swallowed it, forced to smile, and said, "I'm fine, just tired." He nodded, gave me that heartbreaking smile, and walked out of the room, back to his youth, his freedom, his world where I don't belong. I stood there in the empty classroom, trying not to cry, realizing this isn't love. It's longing. It's loneliness. It's a wound I created all by myself, because he will never be mine. And I have to let him go. Silently, professionally, and with a broken heart no one will ever know about.
I did something I'm not proud of. Actually, something I'm deeply ashamed of. But at the time, it felt like the only way out. I stole money from my best friend. And then I blamed her boyfriend for it. It started when I was broke. Rent overdue, bills piling up, stress eating me alive. I didn't want to ask anyone for help. And I sure as hell didn't want to admit how desperate I really was. One night, my friend invited me over. She left her wallet on the counter while she went to shower. And I saw it. Cash sticking out, like the universe was testing me. I knew it was wrong. I knew it would destroy something between us. But I also knew she wouldn't miss it right away. My hands were shaking when I took the money. Not because I felt guilty, but because I knew I'd crossed a line I couldn't uncross. The next day she called me crying, said she was missing money, said she didn't understand what happened, and without even thinking, I lied. I told her I saw her boyfriend acting weird. I said he went through her bag while she was in the other room. I invented details, his tone, his expression, the way he hurried out. She believed me instantly. She always had doubts about him. I just fed the insecurities she already carried. They had a massive fight that night. She accused him of stealing from her. He denied it, of course. He looked confused, hurt, betrayed. And I just stood there watching the mess I created. He ended up leaving her apartment. She ended up calling me, sobbing, saying, "Thank you for being honest with me. I'm glad you told me." And that was the moment the guilt finally hit. Not when I stole the money, not when I lied, but when she hugged me and said she was grateful to have a friend like me. Since then, things haven't been the same. Her boyfriend avoids me. He doesn't know why, but he feels something, and she trusts me more than ever, which somehow makes everything worse. Every time she talks about how lucky she is to have me, I feel something rotten twisting inside my chest. Because she has no idea. The thief she's looking for is sitting right next to her. And I don't know how much longer I can live with that.
I'm in love with my sister's husband. There. I finally said it, at least to myself. I never meant for this to happen. He was just family at first. Just the man my sister brought home one Christmas, smiling like she'd won the lottery. He shook my hand, laughed at my jokes, helped my mom wash dishes, and I thought, good, she finally found someone decent. But over the years, something shifted. Not all at once. Little moments. Small things I shouldn't have noticed. The way he listens when I talk, really listens. The way he remembers stupid details I mentioned once. The way he smiles when he sees me, like he's genuinely happy I'm there. The way he steps between me and the cold, offers his jacket without thinking, helps me when I'm stressed, checks on me when I disappear for a few days. He treats me better than any man I've ever dated. And that's the problem. Because every time he looks at me with that soft, warm expression, my chest tightens. And I hate myself for it. My sister adores him. She talks about him constantly, how thoughtful he is, how patient, how safe she feels. And every time she gushes about him, I smile like a good sister, while something inside me breaks a little more. I know he doesn't feel the same. He's loyal. He's good. He's exactly the kind of man you hope your sister marries. But sometimes, when we're alone, even for a second, I see something in his eyes. Not desire, not love, just awareness. Like he can feel the tension I try so hard to hide. the moment that destroyed me happened a few months ago. We were all at a family dinner, and my sister got up to take a call. He and I were left alone at the table. He looked at me and said quietly, "You seem sad lately. I hope you know you can talk to me." And my heart cracked open so violently, I had to excuse myself and go to the bathroom just to breathe. He doesn't know. My sister doesn't know. No one knows. I carry this secret like a burning coal I can't put down and can't drop without burning everyone around me. So I keep my distance. I show up less. I speak less. I smile less. Not because I stopped loving him, but because I know loving him is the one thing I can never allow myself to have. This isn't a love story. This is a wound I gave myself by falling for the one man in the world I can never, ever touch.